Hello and welcome to Blockchain Gaming World with me, John Jordan. So in this video, I'm going to be having a look at the performance of a whole bunch of blockchain game project tokens over 2022. So as we'd imagine, this is going to be pretty depressing reading. Basically, I have this big list, the like list. So I've got this big list of a whole bunch of tokens that are associated with either blockchain game directly or blockchain game projects or platforms or guilds or that sort of thing. So I've got 131 tokens here on this list. Actually, some of them are not all live yet, but that's roughly what we're talking about, 130-ish tokens. And it's the start of the year now, so I've gone in and put in the price that they were at the start of 2023, so i.e. today's price. And then we can look back at how those tokens have performed over the last year. I mean, some tokens have been around for a bit longer, but we're just looking at this year here. So there's a whole bunch of sort of numbers here. It's all very complicated. It's actually not complicated at all, but I won't go through all the numbers there. But basically what I'm doing is I'm sort of tracking if there was an ICO or an IDO, what the initial price was for those tokens, if you could buy them. What the token price was then, and then I use CoinGecko. So what was the start price of a token when CoinGecko started tracking it? There's sort of a difference between this token sale price and the CoinGecko start tracking price. You need to be a little bit careful of, and then I just track it over different periods of time. So this is if the token was live on the 1st of January 2021, what was the token price? Or if it went live during sort of 2021, that would be in italic, so it's not necessarily the 1st of Jan. Anyway, by the by, so we can sort of see here, we can look at the glory days of what happened in 2021. So here we can see what was the best performing blockchain game token if we were doing this time last year, and it was Gala. So Gala started the year out at some ridiculously tiny price and ended the year at 46 cents and went up 30,000 times. So there we go. So that was what happened last year. All happy. We know some of these projects: Gala, AXS token from Axie, the Magic token, WeMix token, Mana token from Decentraland. Some other, I'm not quite sure what that one is. The Engine token, the Illuvium token, Sand. So those were all doing, gangbusters last year. So there were even actually there were some tokens that were not doing well even last year, going down. But the worst performing one last year I have was 75%. So it was the worst performing token last year. This year, very very different. So what happened this year? We have a whole bunch of tokens. Or one token here, the MU token. It's got Multiverse token or something. Multi-universe token. That's actually down like 100%. So basically dead now, or worthless. A whole bunch of other ones down, sort of 99.9. So this is the confetti token that was part of the raid party. What's it called? Raid party game. And at one point this was $34, and now it's 2 cents. So basically, this on-chain game, and you basically earn these tokens, and you use the tokens to level up your characters. It became a bit of a viral meme. Everyone was buying these NFTs to play this game, but basically, worthless now. And a few other ones as well. So Soul Chicks was one here. This was the Cyball as well. So these were quite high-profile games this time at the start of 2022. Soul Chicks on Solana and Cyball on the Binance Smart Chain. These were sort of, people were thinking these are going to be big games. This one here, Crabada on Avalanche. So these were projects that have gone down basically 100%. They basically lost all the value they've got. Good Game Guild, Sidious. There's a whole bunch of these other. This is a game. This is a guild. What else we got? Thetan Arena, again another highly promising game, or highly anticipated game this time last year. AAG, another guild, and then you have a whole bunch of other sort of. I'm not going to go through all this sort of stuff, but there's quite a lot of it. Quite a lot of these projects that have lost basically all their value during the year. So 90, 100%, 99%, 98% of their value has been lost during the year. And some of these are obviously quite high profile. Some of these are games most people wouldn't have heard of, and some of them are projects I can't even remember. what they are, to be frank. So the average performance of these whatever 120, 130 tokens was minus 89%. So on average, if you'd bought like $100 of those, you would have basically lost $98. There is sort of some relative performance, I suppose. So the interesting one is the GMT token. This is the Steppen token, the governance token for Steppen. So that's actually up 85% this year. We actually have a look at this on CoinGecko over the year. So it actually launched at sort of March this year. So obviously what you can see here is at one point it peaked at almost $4 when Steppen, which is this game on Solana where you have to buy a shoe NFT and it's sort of a move to earn game. People very much went through an Axie Infinity type approach with people buying these NFTs and then sort of breeding. You could breed these extra shoes and all this sort of stuff was going on, very exciting. So there's a big sort of big spike in the price, went up to $4 and now it's down to 25 cents. So from its all-time high, it's down like 94%. So it's not like this has necessarily performed well, but compared to when it started tracking, so both CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap started tracking the GMT price at about 13 cents, something like that, 15 cents. So compared to that, it is up sort of quite a lot because it's 25 cents now. So the issue here, I think, was there was very low liquidity. So it wasn't people couldn't just come in and buy hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of this token because it was on very limited liquidity on Solana, and then over time they launched the token on ETH and Ethereum and also on Binance. So most of the trading now happens on Binance as a centralized exchange. So that's the thing you have to be a little bit careful of here. So the token is actually up 85% from the first sort of tracking number we have, but that's not really that's a little bit of a confused picture, I would say. But anyway, I mean that's what numbers are. It's interesting. We can see here that there were various sales. There was a sale at 0.5 cents, half a cent, and then there was also like a token price at 1 cent. So if people got in at the private sale, they're still doing very well. So the OG return on investment is 2,000% if you are one of the early investors into that project. And often that's sort of like some truism maybe that I use quite a lot is I think most blockchain projects and most blockchain game projects will sort of go to zero. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to create value in their digital assets, whether that's NFTs or tokens, sort of from thin air, sort of by making a great product and people trusting them and building community. And but most projects can't do that, but some can. So the majority of projects will go to zero, but some projects will go not to zero. Will go to 1, or we don't know what number that is. But often you see these very high ROI numbers, even for projects that have dropped a lot from their peak, and every project has dropped a lot from its peak. But we can see some other ones here. So relative high performers, I suppose, in the year. So this is the Oasis blockchain. This is a new blockchain, Japanese focused. Whole bunch of companies in Japan, including Sega and Square, NX, and a whole bunch of other ones as well. Ubisoft's involved. So the thing is, this token only went live at the start, sort of mid-December. So it's only not even been live a month yet. This token, and already lost 17% of its value. What have we got here? We don't know what the token price was. I need to double check that. I think there was a private sale there. But CoinGecko started tracking it at 0.65. And now it's 0.53. So down 70% on the year, but it's only been live not very long. Similar to this one, this is from Come To Us. This is their blockchain, their second attempt at doing a gaming blockchain after the first one, which was based on Terra, went bust or blew up. So XPLA, that's their token running built on Cosmos. That only went live sort of towards the end of October. So that's down 28% already. So these are new L1 blockchains that people are maybe rerunning games on, and we'll see how they get on. But it's very early days for those. Similarly for Myth, so Mythos is the blockchain coming out of Mythical Games. Again, that one only went live start of November, already down 37%. I need to double check this, if there's any public knowledge about how the private sort of sales of these tokens went, because obviously people they may be up quite a lot from that point of view, but from general, if you bought these as soon as they sort of became available on sort of public exchanges, these are still down, just down less than other stuff. There's a whole bunch of these these are sort of slightly weird games on Binance Smart Chain and platforms, and there's various reasons. Often you can see these ones were launched fairly recently, so these have not been running for the entire year. This one's quite interesting. This is from the Animoca's game, the space game, which is called Phantom Galaxies. So this is their token that is sort of players are mining this token out as a reward token, so it's not been sold as far as I can make out. And people are sort of being given this token if you're playing the game. Still down 43%, so it's not like it's like some amazing money maker. It's been around since sort of July, so that's sort of interesting. We'll see how that sort of comes along. Had a peak of $4 at one point, so that's where it's come down. And a few other things. Apecoin, I guess we know from the Yuga Labs, that was a sort of an airdropped token for people that's going to be used in their metaverse. Ghost token from Avagoche, again, sort of been around for quite a long time, since 2020. It's actually, you might not think going down 57% is very good, but I think for some of these tokens, it sort of shows that if you're either high profile like Ape, or if you have a very tight community, it doesn't mean the token's going to go up all the time, but you're sort of not going down 99%. So we can also have another look. Well, we can have a look at what would be the best performing tokens since CoinGecko started tracking them. So it's sort of maybe surprising, maybe not, I don't know. Even though the Axie AXS token was down 93% in 2022, it's still up, thousands of percent compared to when CoinGecko started tracking it, when it was 14 cents. Now it's $6. So that, for the people who bought it at 10 cents, the investors, still up 6,000%. The Mana token from Decentraland, again, down 91% this year. But still, if you were buying that at the ICO at 2 cents, 31 cents now, so still up a few thousand. Gala, we looked at that, performed very well last year, down 96% this year. But still these percentages can be thousands. Magic, WeMix, which is another L1 blockchain from Korean company We Made. So a bit like those other ones, Oasis and things like that we were talking about. Engine Coin have been around since forever, 2017. You could have got that at 8 cents on the IDO. It's still 25 cents. It's been as high as $4. So down, like all these ones are down enormously from their all-time highs, and down a lot sort of last year. But overall, if you're sort of lucky enough to be a long-term investor in these things and you held them, they've done pretty well. This is an interesting one. Ultra is a Steam, sort of a PC game distribution platform, a Steam on the blockchain, as we like to say. That's going live actually this year. So lost 88% of its value during 2022, but up, not as much as something like Axie or Decentraland, but still up for the early investors. Sandbox, and also one we looked at before, Stepan, and a few other ones. Not Immutable X, Illuvium. So that's a game coming out this year. So we can also just have a quick look at this. So this is looking at the return on investment if you were an early stage investor in some of these projects. And as I say, a lot. You can still have lost all your money, lost 98% on some of these things. But a few of the better known projects. So Axie Infinity, the Sandbox, Stepan, Decentraland, Illuvium. This is My Neighbor Alice, the game, and this is the sort of guild investor guild merit circle. Flow, the Flow blockchain. So some of these have still performed well over over time. But obviously, if you were buying at the top of the market, you've basically lost pretty much all your money. So clearly, none of this is investment advice. I should say, this is a very volatile market, particularly at the moment. And as much as things go shooting up one year, then they can come sort of crashing down the next year. So that's definitely the investment advice is to be very, very careful and not invest or not think of these things as sort of investments that are going to make you loads of money. But obviously, if they're games that you're interested in, that's maybe a little bit different. Anyway, that's a sort of depressing start to the year, I suppose. I guess the easy thing to say would be things can only get better. I don't necessarily think that is the case. Things can always get worse, but we'll see how we end up in 2023 and this time next year. Hopefully there'll be a little less red and percentages on the spreadsheet. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you again soon.